Hey everyone, it's Army Gaming. Welcome back to the channel and welcome to Monster Legends. I am super excited to do this video. We have official information from SocialPoint themselves. This is from the official forums. I will link it in the description if you want to check it out. We have information for two of the new doomed mythics. That's right, the Doomsday monsters. We have official stats, official skills, traits, everything, all that good stuff. Look at that emblem, it looks really cool. So we have Mandarka and we have Thundorc. So yeah, we're going to get into this, and I also want to compare it to how the current Metro monsters compete with these in terms of stats. And again, we don't know what other impact they're going to have in the game, if there's going to be anything new. I mean, we know we're getting new traits, we're not getting new traits. We know we're getting new relics, we know we're getting new status casters, so that's definitely going to have an impact. But what about the beasts, right? We still don't know about that. So for now, I'm going to do my best to analyze these monsters. I mean, it's only a matter of a few days before these monsters officially get released. With that being said, I want to start off by talking about stats. So I already scrolled down and I've seen their stats. Life stat 121, 545. They both have the exact same life stat actually. Power stat, it looks like Thundorc is the attacker with a 10,450 power stat. Speed stat 7678. Whereas this monster has a lower power stat but a faster speed stat of 8,041. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to compare these to the current Metro monsters, and to do that we're going to take a look at the Excel sheet I created. So this Excel sheet has the names of all the Metro monsters along with their element, the season they were released, their life stat and power stat and speed stat, which is what matters the most. And in yellow I highlighted the brand new doomed mythics. So as you can see, if we sort from largest to small, right now, the tankiest monsters in the game are the brand new doomed monsters. Currently, Tollylight had the highest life stat at 120640, so it's not that much of a difference, to be honest. Look at that. I would say it's not too much of a difference. It's also, if it's green, it's the highest, and as it goes down to red, that's the lowest. Slumster being the squishiest of the Metro era. So life stat, it's nothing too crazy. If we sort power stat from largest to smallest, we can see that actually Thundorc does not even have the highest power stat. Beambot beats it, and so does Butcherang, and then it's actually tied with that of Dork. So right now it doesn't look like the stats are going to be anything too crazy. And keep in mind, Mandarka is the exclusive monster. Thundorc, I'm not sure how this monster is released. This might be the free monster, so maybe the other paywall monsters are going to have higher stats. But yeah, nothing too crazy. This monster not being an attacker is over here in between Syntheris and Jacksepticeye. So that's pretty cool. In terms of the speed stat, Mandarka is the fastest at 8,041, and then we have Dro and Slumster at 7,744. Okay, so yeah, and again, this is a paywall monster, so definitely super fast. Whereas Thundorc, the attacker, he's over here. I will say for an attacker, he's pretty fast because attackers are normally not this fast. I mean, just look at the monsters, right? Cleansing, support, anticipation support, firecatcher, dodge area, Gekwan. It's usually support monsters, and then here's a fast attacker, Beambot, and then after that, where's another fast attacker, Dark Voltic. See, so yeah, attackers tend to be on the slower end. So for an attacker, Thundorc is pretty fast. So I wanted to start off by showing right now it seems like stats aren't anything too crazy, which is a good thing. But what impact is everything else going to have? It also means that perhaps we are going to be able to use our Metro monsters with this new doomed mythic era. So we'll have to see how that plays out. But let me close that and let's start off with, let's do Thundorc first, since this is the multiplayer monster. Alright, so we're going to skip the lore for now because I'm sure you guys just want to see like stats, skills, traits, all that stuff. So Thunder attacker with damage boost, extra turns, guard down skills. Evolving trait, he has Orc at rank 0, immune to shock. Look at that, the Thunderbeast can't even stop this monster. He can still do his ET skills, you can still turn transfer into this monster. Who would have thought that immune to shock would have come in clutch so much? So for every monster out there that had immune to shock and I was like, whatever, no, it's a really good thing. Status caster gains Thunder immunity at the start of the battle, so other Thunder attackers won't hurt him. We went over the stats already. It's hard to compare because we don't have any info on more doomed monsters. Relics are Sword and Mask, as is typical with attackers. That's not really anything new. Bugs, Barbarian, Evil Legions, and a female. Warmed Up deals moderate thunder damage to when enemy applies precision to itself. It is 30 damage, 0 cooldown, 30 stamina cost. Ready to Fight deals low thunder damage to everyone, 20 damage. Alright, nothing too crazy so far. Light Switch applies damage boost to itself, gives 1 extra turn. I like this, right? Malarian has this too. Give a damage boost. You set up for your next attack. You can dish out a lot more damage. Notice real quickly, 30, 20, 30, 35, 35, 20. This monster does not hit hard. Normally whenever SP releases some sort of extra turn attacker, right away, they're not that crazy powerful, right? I think of like Thunderkong, Nightingale, those monsters where it was like kind of a disappointment. So I wonder if this is going to be the same thing. Granted, this is a PvP monster, so you're going to end up getting this monster like rank 3, rank 4, potentially. Let's see. Deals moderate thunder damage to one enemy, applies guard down. So you have a spammable 30 damage attack. So you can either give yourself increased accuracy with warmed up, or you can guard down the enemy. And yeah, so even though it's 30 damage, thanks to the damage boost, you can think of it as 45 damage. Electrical Field deals moderate thunder damage to all enemies, applies shock to enemies, requires cooldown. Extra 5 damage on a 1-turn cooldown. So you could technically do Electric Feel, and then on the next turn Light Switch, and then Electric Feel again. Okay. We have Voltage Rise, applies precision and thunder immunity to itself. I'm not a fan of self skills like this. The only benefit is if you were to get possessed, the AI has a chance to do a self skill that sets up and you'd be protected against thunder attacks, so that's cool, but overall not really a big fan of it. Get Over This deals moderate thunder damage to all enemies, applies guard down. So we have two different AoE skills, one that shocks the enemy and the other that guard downs the enemy. I would say shock is the better skill if you're going to only use one of them. For some reason the guard down one has a 2-turn cooldown, I guess if you have like guard down hater or something. Swift Oak deals low thunder damage to one enemy, applies shock to an enemy, gives one extra turn to itself. So 2-turn cooldown and you shock an enemy. So this is beneficial because you can prevent the enemy from utilizing ET skills or even turn transferring into someone, so that's pretty cool. He only has 2 extra turn skills. They both have a 2-turn cooldown. If I was to use this monster, I might just do Swift Oak to shock someone, then give myself a damage boost. That way I can probably cycle better. Alright, I guess you can still damage boost. So let's see, Light Switch, and then Swift Orc. Oh, I said Oak. Swift Orc, then Swift Orc, then do an AoE, and then on the next turn, I think you'd be able to Light Switch again and do 3 attacks per turn. Then again, it has a 2-turn cooldown, so you use it, then you do an ET skill, then you do a regular skill. Yeah, you'd be able to do 3 attacks every turn, I think. But he doesn't hit that hard. Yeah, he doesn't hit that hard, and again, his power stat is like a little less than Bebot and Butchering. Sword Mask, the alts. You Orc my world, I love that. Applies vulnerable, then deals heavy thunder damage. Oh, that's good. So that's basically 75 damage. Restores cooldowns on itself. I don't think this monster's anything too crazy. Yeah, I'm not really. I like the monster design. Monster design is fantastic. Love it. But yeah, other than, I guess, like, we are moving into a meta where players are going to be using the Thunderbeast on defense, so your monsters start the game off with shock. It's useful that you're immune to shock. It's useful that you're going to be able to give yourself a damage boost, deal some damage. So the way I can see this, like, maybe you take on a Megaton monster, and you do Light Switch, then you do Swift Orc, that's 30 damage, then you do Get Over This, that's 35 damage times 3 against a Megaton monster, plus you have a damage boost. So what is that? 35, 17, 42.5 times 3. Maybe this monster can OTK Megaton monsters, assuming you don't get all of your stamina drained or anything. So there's definitely some... Yeah, I can definitely see some potential in this monster. Overall, though, I'm like, whatever. Let's take a look at... I want to hear your guys' thoughts. Let me know in the comments below. But let's take a look at the exclusive monster. Yes, exclusive era shop offer, Mandarka. Alright, let's see. What does she do? Mandarka is a dark support with blind precision status effect removal skills. Okay. Let me check out the lore. Oh, he. Never mind, not she, he. Underworld at a very young age, he was practically dragged. Yeah, we're not going to go into the lore too much. Let's see. Immune to blind, immune to nightmares, and status caster applies a random negative effect to all enemies. I'll say the blind is nice. Immune to nightmares, I don't think it's that relevant, and especially if we're getting new status casters, it's like, wait, SP, why are you giving me these old things that aren't going to be that useful and relevant? Applies a random negative status effect to all enemies. I guess it depends, right? Like, if there's a Megaton, they're going to absorb 3 random negative effects. I guess it depends what it's actually applying. We have a banner. Okay, so at least the monster dies and comes back to life. That's useful. And then Mr. Beast Banner, you never have to worry about stamina. Little Evil Thing deals low dark damage, applies daze. 0 cooldown, 0 stamina. You can use it whenever. Hell is Home deals low magic damage to all enemies, only 15 damage. Funnel Curse deals moderate dark damage to an enemy, applies minor blind to an enemy, applies precision to itself. Okay, minus 25% accuracy and spammable. True Vision and immune to blind to one ally. Alright, Servant Oath. Deals low direct damage to all enemies, applies minor blind to everyone, and removes all negative effects from itself. No, from all allies. Okay, so far this is the best skill you have. You reduce accuracy by 25% on the enemy, and you cleanse any negative effects your allies may have. Hellbound. Removes positive effects from one enemy. Deals moderate dark damage to an enemy, applies blind to one enemy. The best thing about this monster right now is still that you cleanse negative effects from your allies. With a skill like Hellbound, you would be able to have this monster go first. Again, you're the fastest monster in the game now, and you get rid of Megataunt, and that's it. And then you follow up with maybe a denier, right? Maybe someone goes and denies. Let's see what else. That removes positive side effects, that's it. Applies blind to all enemies, applies precision to allies, removes negative effects from itself. I wish this would have also removed negative effects from your allies as well, not just from itself. But it's basically an AoE blind and increased accuracy. And then we have Succubus. We have deals moderate dark damage to an enemy, total blind to all enemies, and daze to all enemies. And then Strength in Numbers. It doesn't feel powerful. I'll say that. This monster doesn't feel powerful, but you can remove Megatons, and then you can follow up with a Denier, so there's always that meta you can utilize. If you're taking on a Santarion, a Pangoliath, though, then this monster kind of becomes useless. Like, even though you're dark and you're taking on Pango, you're not dealing that much. Moderate dark damage to one enemy, total blind to everyone, days. Yeah, so I don't know. We have to wait and see. Also, now I'm starting to think, like, are there even going to be new status casters? Because I could have sworn in the leak this monster was going to have one, or maybe it was someone else, so maybe there won't be. I don't know. All I know for now is that this skill sheet right here, this monster, this is from the official forum. So this is legit. Let me know what you guys think about the monsters, and again, we went over the stats, so how do you guys think they compare to all the current Metro monsters that are released? Any thoughts in the comments below. Thank you guys very much, and remember to subscribe.